And Morgan Stanley, I'm wondering if up here by 76.20 against 76.70. $76.20 against 76.70. We'll see if we can get a pop back up to these 20s here and start this short. This is an earnings situation. We'll see if we can get that. It's got a ways to go. Microsoft coming back in. ES still trapped in its pre-market range. Microsoft trying to get above that 333 level, and looks like it is. Actually, that's actually quite good looking on that Microsoft. That looks quite nice. There's a stop run right there on Microsoft. I don't know if it's ready yet. Gonna keep an eye on it. Let's look at NVIDIA pre-market range. Spirit comes down into 21. Don't want it. Tesla went from lows to highs and then back into pre-market range. Here's Morgan Stanley. Can she get up here? AMD coming down into lows. Apple, no man's land. Amazon, and a no man's land here. Microsoft, Google looking strong. Meta looking strong. I like that Microsoft the most. I like the Microsoft the most. I just don't know if it's ready yet. But somewhere around here, there's AMD on lows. AMD, new lows. Got to keep an eye on that. But looking at this Microsoft, and here is Morgan Stanley up into the 80s. I'm being more conservative up here. It is an earnings play, so I need to watch to make sure that I'm not being too conservative. She is down 5-6% here, hoping that she can get above 76. Real briefly, AMD continues to go. Microsoft coming in. Didn't take the Microsoft long yet. Want to see what it does. It might need to retest. And again, flirting with that level there. Still waiting for Microsoft to show something. I do want to know if 334 back above here. I would like to know. Here's Morgan Stanley coming up into the 80s. Can she pop quickly above and run those stops, and Microsoft back above? And that might be the entry right there. That might be the entry right there. And the stop would be down here, 333.20. Entry 333.70s. There's 76 on Morgan Stanley. Can she get up? Can she get up? Microsoft comes in, runs those stops. Is she going to fall back into pre-market range and continue lower? And AMD is continuing to fall. Okay, here comes Morgan Stanley up to 11 cents. Didn't get up to the 20s, got up to 15. I am a few pennies away. I did not get filled up there at 24 cents. It got up to 20 cents. I am going to... Okay, got it there. I am short Morgan Stanley at 23 cents here, and we are looking for lows. This is an earnings type of situation. We are looking for lows, 75s and potentially lower. So let's go. Let's go. The one stop along the way would be this 75.40, so I'll take some off down there. But otherwise, short 23 cents, stop up at 70, and we are looking for new lows on Morgan Stanley. Now, Microsoft did go ahead and run those. There's not much for me to do on Morgan Stanley. I just need to wait. If this is an earnings situation and it's actually going to die off, then I just need to wait and let it do its thing. Here's the 80s. Pops back up. Just need to let the seller start working again. 80s. '70s. Can we get down to those 60s? Not yet, no. Microsoft's still waiting for some kind of sign of buying to come back in. Don't have it yet. I'm going to set another 334 back above here. Can this Morgan get down? Oh, back up here again. Retesting that spot, and AMD continuing to go to lows. Oh, I missed this. Wow. Wow. AMD heavy. AMD heavy. Let me set a new low a day down there. AMD very heavy. Don't really want to get distracted now. I want to see if this Morgan Stanley I can carry down to that first target and then lower to my ultimate target down there. Second time down here. Let's see if they continue selling. What's the offer doing? Is the offer strong and staying down and hammering those bids? Starting to. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Starting to. Let's see those 80s disappear, 80s reappear. Can we get an 80 offer that holds? Can we get this seller to start working? ES starting to come in now. Can we get an 80 offer to hold? No, not yet. AMD continuing lower. Where did Microsoft go? There's Microsoft again. Microsoft back above 334 again. Morgan Stanley, I'm going to move out to a 2-minute. Here's the 80s again. Can we get an offer holding below 80 cents? There's the first time. 70s. Can we get a move down? No, we can't get an offer to hold below 80 cents either. Every time bids back up. Not sure how many more times I should allow it to try that before starting to take some off. Can that offer hold down below 80 cents? Now there's some selling coming in. Here we go. ES starting to come into new lows. Will those bids that are advertising there get hit? Can we get an 80 offer that holds? There's the 70s. There's the 60s. Can we get a flush down through the 50s? I'm down at 40 something cents. Nvidia on lows. Can we get a flush down? We're almost to my target, my first stop to take first piece off. 60s. Can we get down through the 50s? I feel like we're starting to sell here a little bit. Can we get down? Offer. Okay, there we go. Starting to step down a little bit. Got down to 61. Can we get down to the 50s? Can we get further? 50s. Can we hold down in the 50s? Starting to sell it. And no, these 60s. No, not really going. Let's try again. Nope, not really happening down here. I'm gonna have to take some soon if this thing can't hold lower. Really would like to see an offer hold down below 60 cents. And now we're all the way back up to the 80s. Can we get an offer hold below 60 cents? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to play more defensively here. When this comes down to the 60s, I'm gonna have to start covering some next time. Here we go. Can we get another offer down through the 60s? Going once. Can we hit those bids? No. No, we can't. Now we're back up into the 80s, 90s. Not what I was looking for. Just looking for that seller to start pushing. There's the 70s. Can we push down and hammer those? Are those 70s going to disappear? There's the 60s. Can those 60s disappear? Okay, I'm going to try to take some here. Took some right there. I've got 100 left. Just didn't want to play with it anymore. Maybe an emotional reaction there. I'll have to reevaluate after the fact. But I've got a piece left here. Just it couldn't break down through those 60s the way I was looking for. Size being advertised there. I don't want to see that unless they're stepping down, which right now they're not doing. My other target is down here at the 20s, so I'm going to set an order down at 21 cents. I'm also going to set a stop up here at like 95 and just lock it in. So if we can continue down to lows, great. But yeah, shedded my size right there. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's take a look at everything else. Microsoft did get, oh wow, it did run those stops and then did come up. Let me put this on a 5-minute here. It did run those stops and did come up. I don't see the long yet in Microsoft. And here is Morgan Stanley back up to 90 cents. Nvidia went to lows, 424 low a day. I think AMD was also on lows, and AMD down there. And Morgan Stanley not breaking down. Very close to taking a stop on that last piece. AMD continuing lower. Let's look over at Tesla. Let's look at Nvidia. Let's look at AMD. What did this SPR do? Yeah, that thing's bonkers. Oh, there's 60 cents. Here we go. Morgan Stanley going. Here's the 50s. What can we see? Can we get a flush down? I still wouldn't have gotten to my profit yet, but maybe soon. Can it hold below an offer below 60 cents? No, not yet. Not yet. Apple, Amazon, and there's Microsoft, Google and Meta. This Microsoft looks like a huge long. I just don't know. Don't think it's ready yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is ready. I don't see a way to get in yet. Nvidia on lows. 423 low a day. Actually, let's just make it 422 because it's already down at 423. ES flirting with pre-market lows. Morgan Stanley just cannot get down. So there's there, but I want to keep an eye on Microsoft. Here's the 50s. Morgan Stanley, can she get down to the 40s? That's where my original first lot cover was. I mean, it'd have been pennies away. So covered a lot of my size up here in the 70s. But no, she can't really get down below 50. Now we're holding below 60 cents. Here's 50 cents. There's the 40s for the first time showing. Okay, so I would have gotten my first cover. Here we are moving lower. I wonder if we will go attack low a day. I'm down near lows looking for a final cover on my remaining lot, quarter of my position. Can we get down there? Down 6% now, Morgan Stanley. And Microsoft making its way higher. Morgan Stanley looks heavy now. Now she's looking heavier. Can't really get up above 50 cents now, can we? Look at that selling at 45. Let me set a marker there. Look at all that selling that just happened at 45. Let's see if this offer comes back down. I'm changing my stop to 55 cents. The seller, if they're gonna go, they should go. And stopped out of Morgan Stanley. That's fine. Took the trade in Morgan Stanley, and then I will set would have worked, and then a low a day down at 75. Morgan Stanley 1 penny off of lows here. Effectively at lows. There's new lows. Morgan Stanley trade would have worked.